Tough week to be a rugby ball down in Chicago because SVG kicked them all over the fence. My man swept the weekend, first time since 2016. Anybody since Kyle Busch at Indianapolis has swept the weekend like he did. Poles in both, wins in both, taking the Chicago street race by storm. Corey LaJoie alongside Ryan Flores breaking it all down. Stacking pennies this week. Buckle up.
Stacking them deep, selling them cheap.
It tastes like gasoline, rubber, and victory.
We're just out here stacking pennies.
Well. Little Chicago street action for you. Plenty of action to get into. I don't even know where to start, buddy, but Corey LaJoie here alongside Ryan Flores.
Start with that mustache you're growing, dude.
Dude, it's kind of sick.
Going full-blown dad mode.
Kind of sick. You know, when the beard gets a little long and you want to knock it down to like a 3 or a 4, I knocked it down. I usually go like one shorter with the mustache, but I didn't, and I'm like, I kind of like this.
It's bushy.
So, yeah, Kelly was in there too. I said, what do you think about this? I said, I don't hate it. Done.
Yeah, give an inch, you take a mile, buddy.
So I think I'm gonna grow this unit out.
Looks good.
I mean,
that's like a dad stash.
Yeah,
it's a thick.
I'm a full blown dad, bud.
Thick dad stash. Did you guys do anything fun for 4th of July this week, man?
We had a fun little shindig over at Big Rand's Wednesday. Nothing like July 2nd. We were just celebrating being a Wednesday and being American.
That's right.
Had a bunch of kids over running around, tried out Big Rand's new pickleball court, striped that up for a half-court basketball / pickleball courts. It was a lot of fun. Just fun hanging out with kids, letting them all run around. Dad's setup is awesome.
Yeah.
Got the fence around the pool, got the trampoline, some cold beers, grill. So, yeah.
Big Rand telling stories.
It was a blast. Big Rand telling stories. You got back into town Wednesday night, right?
No, I went back to Jersey. So we were there. I actually un-American. We woke up, did 4th of July in a little town that my sister lives in called Island Heights, which is cool. They do like a bike ride through the whole town.
Cool.
And it ends at the pier.
Yep.
Mayor's there, everything. It was like America, buddy. And then we drove home the night of the 4th. So we stopped and we kind of saw all the fireworks around us. Got home about midnight, had to fly to Chicago. I went to the fireworks show in Chicago.
Yeah.
Absolute show.
Was it?
I've never seen that many people in my life. They shut the pier down. We were just trying to get some Giordano's. They wouldn't let us in. And then I had a great view of a tree.
Yeah.
And then there was fireworks behind the tree. But yes, it was had to be 1 million people there. It was crazy.
Really?
But Chicago's a really cool city, dude. I really like where we stay. We stay in the Swiss Hotel, which is right on the river, and it's a really cool part of town. So we were able to walk around and check that
Street
stuff out.
Race is in my top 3 NASCAR races on schedule.
I loved it.
It is awesome, and Julie and her team continue to knock it out of the park. I'm glad they got some good weather this year. I hope they can figure out how to come back. It seems like the city's really embracing it. They didn't know what to expect for the first year or two, but we saw the city cut off a little bit of budget for them, so that helped ease some relations because NASCAR's taking it in the kisser. The first 2 years, bad weather, infrastructure cost is expensive for that place. So hopefully it made financial sense.
When do you think they need to know?
Last week.
If they're coming back next year?
I mean, yeah, I'm sure now. I mean, they don't start building the track until like Wednesday before the race.
That's what somebody asked. They're like, when do you think this thing's tore down? I'm like, probably Wednesday after. Like, the grandstand's probably a little bit longer, but you can drive back on the streets today, right?
Yeah. I think they let it rip. Like, they're still sitting there, and we're talking about Monday morning, driving on the streets that we just raced on. That SVG just owns. Like, he owns that 2.2 mile stretch of Chicago street. Just go ahead and give it to him, sign the deed over.
He's good.
Guy's unbelievable.
Good. Well, and I knew it, man. What'd you say?
We'll talk about him more.
Yeah, that's fine.
We'll give him his flowers later.
Dude, talking about giving out flowers, that initial, well, first off, XFinity rate qualifying seemed crazy. And how about Corey Heim getting sent home? That's a bummer. But good for Catherine Legg. She had a great top 20 run.
She did, 19th, live fast. Man, it was on Corey's Heim on his birthday, no less. Brutal.
If he embraces all the way that he's figured out, like, not just his own fault, but just in general, like how they figure out how to lose races with the truck.
Man.
And it's a bad way to put it, right? How they figure out how to lose races, but the ways in which they lose races. He has lost a race any possible way you can. Hopefully this builds into maturity, so when he gets in the right positions, he's going to be bulletproof.
It's going to be really good. And I felt for him because you work for him in this case probably for months. Sim time, prep meetings, all the things to get that 67 car, not only in the show, but like to run good. I think he was in the top 15 in practice. And one little slip through 4, that thing bit him. And it bent a toe link. His car looked like Sam Hornish's at Charlotte back in 2012.
Just that skewed out.
That skewed.
You can't, and forgive me for not knowing the rule here. Middle of qualifying run, you can't come in and touch that.
No.
You can't take a wheel off, right?
No.
Mm.
Unapproved adjustment.
Dang it.
So he had to lay a lap down that was like only a tenth slower than Catherine. He laid his lap down first. Josh Balicki, another open car, laid a good lap down.
Shout out to Josh, too.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Not easy.
Nope. And he executed, got his 66 Garage 66 Ford Mustang in the show, and then Corey tried to put some laps together for all he was worth, and he was able to run like a 50, like a 32.50 maybe, or a 132.50. And Catherine she bounced it off the fence 3-4 times, pow, 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 backed it in the fence in practice. They get the thing patched up. She goes back out, pulls them tight.
You know what it reminds me
She had to
of?
pick up like 2.5 seconds to beat that. She ran a 132.38. So 12 hundredths faster to make the show. Big deal for her because she has been, I'll venture to say, an innocent bystander to a lot of strays she's been catching on social media.
I'd say you caught a lot of those strays when you first started.
Well, when you're with a, and nothing against BJ's team. BJ's my favorite. Like, they have the least amount of resources of any team in the garage.
Absolutely.
They do their best, but it's the least favorable car to be driving relative to, because they're another open car, RCR car, third colleague car, third 2311 car. Carl in that 66 car, they run somewhat frequently, and Josh is a really good road racer. So, like, all the odds were stacked against Catherine. She didn't wreck bad enough all those times prior to running a fast enough lap to make the race, and I was pumped to see it.
I was thinking about you. I was taking a Timothy O'Toole's.
I'm glad you're thinking about me.
And I look up,
really
and they have
makes me
Chicago Street Race, and it was
me back on the
it
fence.
was like Bubba's car and the 23 Blast It All car. The BK Racing. The Blast It All sponsored green and white car. I was like, oh.
No, it was 83.
That one was that one had the. It might have been the 83.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was the 83.
Daytona 500 car.
And I was like, holy crap.
Dustless blaster.
Dustless blasting. That's what it was. And I was like, damn, they really dug that one out of the archives.
Man, I've driven some nice ones, for sure. So, but I digress.
I had that thought. I was bullshitting Zane yesterday, and I was just like, dude, you're pretty good. Like, but we talk about a lot. Punching above your weight class or doing good in the back half of the cup field, man, is not celebrated enough.
It's not.
And the real ones know,
what it
though.
does a lot of the times is just make your car more valuable for some rich kid to come buy your seat.
Yeah.
That's all it does.
Yeah, that's a good point. Xfinity race. SVG Connor Zilisch at the end.
Yeah.
I thought, watching it, that Connor drove SVG into the fence off of 12 coming to the green. Thought he pinched him.
Okay.
And then...
So at that point in time, you think SVG's like, okay, game on.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Like, all right, you drive me in the fence here. We'll see you on the other end. Then you just kind of merge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like I'm gonna wreck you. It's like you're not gonna do that to me.
Yeah.
That's what I thought that was. Like, hey, daddy's home.
Okay. So it was definitely a daddy's home moment, and it's like, hey, welcome to the team next year. But I'm the top dog here, big guy. Just in case you forgot, I know you're pretty good at this, but I'm gonna show you who's the best. And I was surprised that he was able to stay attached to his left freak. Just drug him back enough to get position, and then at that point in time, it was his corner, so he took it.
Do you have that, Hig?
Originally, I thought it was foul because Connor, full-time guy going for a going for a win. The chances of him stuffing in the fence were pretty high there. I thought that SVG would have left him at least a lane off of one. The fact that he didn't leave a lane for him to finish the corner.
Did you look back far enough to where they restarted and he drove him the fence?
No.
That's where it started.
Yes.
And
Okay,
like
that makes
everybody,
sense.
you know the deal. It's like that's where I watch everything that happens like that. And I'm like, take me back 3 or 4 corners. Take me back 2 or 3 laps. He stuffed like the restart zone is before 12.
Right.
And then you come off and just doink, 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 like one of them where it was like, hey, you didn't have to do that.
Yep.
So that's what that was.
So if Connor leaves him a lane there, he probably leaves him a lane in one. But the fact that he got drug in the fence here, I'm going to not leave you a lane over here, and then we'll figure it out.
Because they kind of wrestled down the front stretch. They kind of like that. And then I was like, it was just one of those clear, like you can either lift or not, kid. What do you want to do?
Yeah, what do you want to do? He lifted, but he actually pulled the belts tight and drove pissed off and almost got back there. He locked the tire. He locked the right front up maybe through 6 or through 12 coming to the white, and that let SVG get away just enough.
Because I was like, this would be interesting if he gets close enough, and then like right there over the bridge, you kind of lose him. Like, is he close enough or not? And he was just far away. But man,
excellent race. Now, I was thinking about this as those guys were duking it out towards the end. Trackhouse might have the best lineup next year at road courses out of anybody.
Yeah.
Like, they have 2 guys that could win any road course race.
Absolutely.
With Connor and SVG.
And Ross is one. Don't forget, Ross won Coda. Ross is always shows up.
Right.
Let's talk about Daniel for a second. News came out Daniel's not going to be back at Trackhouse next year.
Yep.
That's a bummer. Love Daniel Suarez. I think he's one of the best guys in the garage as far as like
brings
friendship.
a lot to the sport.
Brings a lot to the sport. Where do you think he ends up?
Man, I hate to see it.
He's in the same situation you were in. He started there.
Exact same.
Built the program. Now the program gets really good, and it's like, hey, man, sorry, you're the odd man out.
Yep. So, yeah, I felt exactly the same way he does right now. I think he's in a really good position with partners. That certainly helps conversations. It's just a matter of what he wants to do. I can assure you this. He's not going to want to go full-time Xfinity racing, full-time Cup truck racing. He doesn't have interest in that.
Yeah, there's only 12 people watching those.
There's only 12 people watching those. Like, he wants to be a Cup driver because you make Cup money and you do Cup things. It's just better.
Well, once you run Cup, man, it's tough to go back. Like, you don't want to devalue yourself, but also, like, I don't know. It's tough, right? Being at a great team like he's been at. Do you want to go run for a second? I think free agency
right now is quiet. And as we all know, contracts are made to be broken. There is going to be some action, and all it takes is one domino to fall, right? It takes a Kyle Busch leaving, and even though they picked his option up, like that's what they pay attorneys $800 an hour for, to read the fine print and get them out.
Also, speaking of attorneys, there's a couple lawsuits going on, right? The 2311 Front Row deal.
Yep.
The Rick Ware Legacy deal. If Legacy gets another charter. So there's a lot of moving parts.
If I own a team and I'm looking for somebody that's available, Suarez is top of that list, right? He brings funding. He brings experience. He brings some wins. He brings an entire different audience to the sport of your own team, but to the sport in general.
And one thing that isn't measured enough, I like drinking beer with Dan
You got to
Suarez.
be cool to drink beer with.
You're going to hang out with these guys. You're going to live your life with them.
Might as well be cool.
Might as well be cool, man.
And Suarez is like at the top of that list of cool, because there's really not a long list of guys that are kind of cool to drink beer with.
Yeah.
So, I don't want to sit here and speculate on where he should go, because that would insinuate that I would say that he should be in different guys' seats. But, like, I would take Suarez over 7 or 8 guys in the Cup Series.
Yeah.
I've got a couple in mind that I think he can go to, and I'm sure he's going to be in contact with those guys. But Suarez has seen, Suarez has seen, and he's had the opportunities to go drive for Coach and Stuart Haas and all these teams that are key partner teams with Chevy or Toyota or Ford in this case. He's driven for all the good ones. He's not going to go to a team. He's not going to want to go to a team that doesn't have those resources.
And they haven't announced that Zilisch is going to be in the 99, right? They just announced that they're going to part ways.
I mean, I can read
The writing
tea
would be on
leaves.
the wall.
I mean, geez, the tea leaves literally have spray painted on them. So, I think that there's going to be some action in free agency. I think some big dominoes are going to fall. It's unexpected. And, all it takes is, like I said, Kyle Busch leaving, going somewhere, musical chairs, plugging Suarez in, and you're off to the races.
We'll leave Jordan Bianchi to do that speculation. He's really good at that stuff.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
stick to race breakdowns.
For sure.
He's the guy for that.
But first, before we get into that, this is definitely a sidebar conversation. Saw the F1 movie this week.
Was it good?
Oh, it's sick.
Shout out Nico Hulkenberg.
Hey,
Watching the F1
big time. I always thought that I was the Nico Hulkenberg of NASCAR. It's like, guy always drove for boxes, always finished 4th, 5th. Everybody thinks the guy sucks. To stick around in the top level of that sport for that long, you got to know what you're doing. He's got to be a dude. Got to be fun to drink beer with.
That's what I was gonna say.
And he brings a lot of value to the team. So awesome to see him hoist that Lego trophy. Did you see the trophy made out of Legos?
He wouldn't put it down. That's
That
what
son of a has been racing for 225 races, and he gets on the podium, and they give him a Lego
I
trophy.
could have just bought this at Walmart.
I
aisle 7.
could have had
Damn
my
it.
4-year-old build this damn thing. Jesus.
Oh boy.
But shout out Nico. But the F1 movie was sick, dude. And
Was
it
it?
wasn't like I was a little bit skeptical of like how you gonna make a 62-year-old guy look like he should be driving an F1 car. Brad Pitt looks like he's 40. Just an absolute stud. It was awesome, man. The plot line was cool. The on-track action was really realistic. It was just a cool movie.
I have to go check it out.
And then also, was there confirmation for sure that Days of Thunder 2 is happening? That's why I wear
They
my
said,
hat
yeah.
today.
So they're gonna need that fire suit back. Hey, we're gonna need that.
You're going to need that fire suit back? Can't have it. I've been thinking about a plot line for Days of Thunder 2 for a long time, but I think you had the best one ever, and I just wanted to let you just tell me what your idea was.
Yeah, I don't want to bring up old stuff, but you were like, "What would your plot line be?" And I was like, "It had to be Kyle Larson." Like
Kyle Larson's
losing his ride, like the way he lost his ride. Obviously, it was brutal for him.
Yeah.
But like, is there more of a down and
Canceled.
out? Canceled.
Living in
During COVID. Canceled.
living in a new down by the river.
You could literally take that, like, starts on a Twitch stream during COVID.
Canceled.
Canceled. They
Get
show up.
fired.
They show up to his house, the flatbed, 10 hours later.
Pick the Tahoe up.
Take his Tahoe up.
This is ours.
Yeah, he lost it. He was at the top level.
Dude, he was building a house on Lake Norman.
For
Sold it.
sale.
For sale in the front yard. Got rid of that. Literally gets in his bus, him and his family,
He goes to go
for the
dirt
next
racing.
4 months and wins every single race that there's a sprint car race in Timbuktu. Show up, win that.
And everybody
Knoxville
wanted to pile it
Nationals,
on.
win that.
He'll never get another ride. He's done. No, who's going to take him on? Tony Stewart. And then Rick Hendrick calls.
Then Rick Hendrick calls.
And he goes on a
Wins
10
10 races
race win.
and the championship. There's your Days of
And
Thunder 2 plot line, ladies and gentlemen.
There it is. And you have the driver that's like super, just a race car driver. And then you have the real stiff engineer and Cliff.
Yeah.
It's a great story. So I'm sure it'll be something like that.
Needs to be.
Absolutely.
How do you weave? Was Cole Trickle now? Does he own a bunch of used car dealerships and he's the one that owns this mega team?
I don't know. Just Jeff Gordon.
Yeah.
He won a couple championships, and Rick just gave him the keys.
Yeah.
Here. I think that if you don't use that plot line, you're really missing it. Because it's a hell of a story. When you think about it, when we sat here and talked about it before the show, we broke it down. It's like, that is a crazy
That's a movie,
story.
bro.
It's a movie.
It's at least a 30 for 30 documentary here in 10 years.
No
It's
doubt.
unbelievable.
No doubt.
Excited to see what Jerry Bruckheimer.
I'll tell you what
Can
else is
whip
going to
up
be a
for
30
that.
for 30 before. Like, let's get into some race stuff.
Hang on, though. If I was in the movie, who would play me? Who would play you?
You'd be Aldo de Bendetti.
Yeah.
If it was
I think
me?
I think Miles Teller would play me again. Because if we want to rewind back and find the clip of my plot line for the kickball championship of when I was the older brother and Mom always told me to take care of my little brother and you were Zach Galifianakis.
I'm older than you.
I'd always pick you. You're my older brother. A
I've
little bit of a
ran
reject
yard on
with
you, dude.
with no friends, and I coached you rigorously for weeks leading up to this biggest kickball game.
I have
of all.
so many friends.
And then you kicked the winning home run. You literally did that. You delivered on my plot line. So
I did.
Thank you.
That's it. Yeah, I have like the most friends.
Who would
The
play,
best
who would
friends.
play you is like
Kevin Bacon. Everybody tells me I look like Kevin Bacon. Probably strung out Kevin Bacon.
Washed up pit crew guy.
Yeah.
Knees don't work anymore.
Yeah, that's it. They send them all, and then they need somebody to come bail
One
them out
last time
down the stretch.
The front tire changer's got.
Get Kevin
he
Bacon.
broke his leg.
They go get Kevin Bacon. Help! Hey, this kid folded up. He can't do it. Go get Kevin Bacon. He's in a Volkswagen Bug down the Jersey Shore surfing every day. All right.
He can give us one last stop.
I'll make her one more run. That'd be me. Oh yeah.
My gun's jammed. Give me another one.
Just give me the high gear.
Speaking of high gear, William Byron did not have high gear this weekend, man. Brutal.
I talked to Rudy. We stayed in the same hotel.
Dude, they worked till 1 o'clock in the morning.
He was nervous about it. He was nervous about it when I talked to him in the hotel. He's like, we scoped the clutch. We were looking at it. And then I saw them fire. I didn't even think anything more about it after I had that conversation. And they fire off, and you can hear that. Ram, ram. I'm like, oh, no, they didn't do it.
Dude, that is demoralizing because that's always like, ooh, he hit the fence good. Did it get the transaxle? What'd it do? We got to fix the primary.
And he was so fast.
Hell yeah.
He was
so fast.
He was so fast. Yeah, that's demoralizing. So it started with hitting the fence and getting the transaxle, right?
It just started with hitting the fence, right? It was really wide through 10. Left side. He didn't hit the inside apex curb like Hocevar did. Did the pow, pow. He just did missed it, loose, pow. And then they had to put, left side suspension on it. But when you get a big shot like that, it punches the left side drive shaft into the transaxle. And it's really hard to go inside there and see if there's any issues. Sounded like that was an issue. Hate it for those 24
Well, you don't get
guys.
any track time. You don't get any practice.
And you got to
it's
drive
way
the
harder
car
now.
damn near to Indiana to work on the thing. And
It's not easy to work on them there.
No.
It's not easy. Dude, speaking of Hocevar, I think his career is going to be a 30 for 30. He's got so much speed. He's running front. That gold and black car looks sick. If you want to run the tape,
sick.
He obliterated it in the tightest spot of the track and took everybody with him.
Well, great qualifying effort. I think he was third. So McDowell and the 77 both had great cars. Man, talk about stacking pennies, man. It's the difference of him taking that inch and a half, trying to get a little more here, riding alongside with him, takes a little bit too much. Pow! Pow! Now he can't drive it. The thing, he's a passenger and just happens to wreck in front of 38 other cars coming to him. And then it was...
Poor Will Brown got into this one. Which I thought he was doing pretty good for what he had.
He was. And the part that I loved about... So I think sitting here on Monday, if Austin Dillon watches this again, he's just going to bulldoze him, push him out of the way. Get out of the way, because I know there's guys coming to keep blasting into me.
Square him up.
Here's the hot pickle ride, lying along with Todd Gill in here. If you're watching
yikes!
Oh,
God!
Dude.
Oh, man, it won't end.
If you're watching us on YouTube or Spotify, we got all the in-car cameras here. We're going to break down all the good stuff here for you.
Oh gosh! Watch, here comes Zane. Shout out,
Harry.
Which was what was really cool. What I really like about the 38 deal, Jack Kealy is the kid's name, RC modified racer. He was spotting this corner for us, and his family grew up on the same street I did. I used to ride my bike down there, but all these modified guys, man, it was so cool that he was able to guide us through that. I was pumped for him.
Yeah, so Noah Gregson came in and passed about 14 cars and somehow didn't get any damage on his car whatsoever. Oh, my God.
I'm through it, Harry. Drew, I'm good.
So that was unfortunate. It wrecked a lot of good cars.
So Calamity Corners, it says 7 through 12. It's half the damn track.
So this corner here is turned into my favorite corner on the track, because it's one of the best braking zones there. It's that's the tightest part of the racetrack. It feels like you could only run 2 cars by. I don't really know what happened there. I think he was trying to keep it off the outside fence and happened to drive it into the inside fence. Kyle Busch.
How many times throughout the years have the
butt.
43 and the 21 wrecked each other?
Since the beginning of time.
Since that's it. Tale as old as time.
Didn't matter. That Slurpee car looks sick, too. That was a cool-looking car. Randall somehow continues to make chicken salad, pits that thing up to the front, gets some track position, gets Kyle Busch a top 5 day. Kyle Busch
ran top 5 most of the
drove
day.
through 3 boxes on pit road. Ty Dillon hit the inside apex of 11 there. But yeah, shout out Randall Burnett because he is really keeping that thing afloat somehow. They're still only on the outside of the playoffs by maybe 5
So
or 6
Zane, this is Zane said, he's like, I just got lost behind the 12 and got the right side.
Oh,
He said it knocked the
God.
wheel out of his hand. He said, I don't know how it's still rolling.
23 sitting here to do it too. Oh man. Okay, Kyle Larson, thank you very much.
Another fist fight on the front stretch like Vegas.
Man. And now he's like stuck. Like, where can you go? You got to wait till everybody
Oh,
drives
that's the
by.
worst.
Oh, real late move. No spotter there.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a spin right here. Looked like maybe Austin Hill got in the back
Austin
of him.
Hill.
Austin Hill was running everybody. He don't care.
He doesn't care.
Close. He was in
Don't do it to him, though.
Oh, here we go.
He'll have that ass. You do it to him.
See, your hesitation.
He never hit him, though, did he?
I'm glad you
No?
shot faked on that.
Damn. Throwing Austin Hill shade. He didn't even do nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
Check your facts, dude.
You reap what you sow, though.
Okay. There's a lot of stuff to break down here. Where are we at right now? Jeez. So, I didn't really know what was going on. I knew there was guys coming down pit road, putting tires on because they were hitting the fence. There were guys flipping. There were guys running long through the stage to try to potentially one-stop it, which I believe was the 88th. Did he one-stop it? He two-stopped
No, he
it.
two-stopped it. The 61 stopped it. But you never knew. We haven't run here in the dry long enough to know what the tire fall-off is.
Yeah.
And you would just assume, hey, it's hard to pass.
Yeah.
But there was a light switch on a lot of these cars, and we saw it late in the race. Tyler Reddick about stole one because he put tires on. He was hauling
He put
ass.
slicks on when there was a dry line up against the 48's wet tires.
No, he did
Oh,
it this
okay.
weekend. He put tires on late, ran the fastest lap of the race with like 4 or 5 to go.
Oh, okay.
He was like seconds faster than Shane there for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, so tires, and that's where this is.
So tires at road courses aren't so much a gain and drive, forward drive, but it's all braking capability.
Which is
You
where
can-
Shane's better than everybody, by the
Yeah.
way. Like, but
His car is so smooth too. He does such a good job of keeping that thing underneath of him. He never slips a wheel.
I don't think
His
it's the car. Yeah, it's definitely him.
But he never puts a wheel in the wrong spot. He's just so exceptional about going to that point of no return. That if you make a mistake, if you somehow lock a tire up, you can't get it back and make the corner. He can go to that threshold every corner, every lap.
I'm telling you, in Mexico, watching the last run at Mexico, they made a few adjustments, and that last run, you could see on that graph. There's a graph that lives rent free in my head where his lap times just went like this and stayed way lower than everybody else's, and I said, damn it, they found the balance. And they might win every road course race for the rest of the year because they've found the balance now. So like we said, the Trackhouse cars have been a little off. He said he wanted to try some things he got to do in Mexico. I think we're all in trouble for the rest of the year.
When you say balance, right, you're talking about the spring combination, the roll stiffness combination.
Just air pressure.
He complained the whole first run that he had no air in his tires, the whole run.
He said the same thing at Coda was a big complaint. So whatever they've worked out with how much he seems to like his car to really heave to the nose. It seems like on braking, like a lot of guys are stiff, so the car doesn't really pitch to the front whenever they brake. SVG's cars look a little bit softer than most, where his stuff kind of heaves, and he feels like he probably has better control under braking like that. And they have got him what he needs, and buddy, does he deliver, because he's the New Zealand unicorn when it comes to street racing and road course racing in general.
He's the road course goat right now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We got the pass for the lead. Who's leading here?
Chase Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe. This is like a shark
Watch
following
this.
you in open water.
Okay, he kept her out there. Okay, yeah, thank you very much.
Shake and bake. He's going high.
How about we were walking up this shuttle to the airport with Adam Alexander? Did you watch the Xfinity race at all?
A little bit.
So they have a paid advertisement from Blue Chew. You know what Blue Chew is? Chew, apparently. Must be blue. So Adam has this read that he snuck in there like a pro. He was like, hey, yeah, this Xfinity racing brought to you by Blue Chew, helping you shake and bake all night.
What a stud.
I was like, oh my God.
You got to have fun with it. You got to have fun with
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Shout out Adam Alexander and Blue Chews. Yes, that was, I don't know why that came to mind. I think you said shake and bake, and that's what I thought about. So here we are. essentially the last restart of the day. A lot of pandemonium, but all of which was behind that 88. I love the little – there's so many little race and IQ things that SVG does. But just once he's clear, he, like, gets 3 or 4 back and forth to get some heat in the tires going into turn 1. Just little things like that, but also how he just manages traffic.
What happened 10 cars behind him?
Let's rewind that. Let's rewind that. So into one.
Oh, man.
Oh, you haven't seen this?
I saw a little bit of it, but I was in the thick of it.
Back up. So, okay, here we go. Okay, pause it. Pause right there.
Oh, boy, Austin.
So, Austin Cindric comes in, guns blazing, with the rear tires locked up since the flag stand.
Oh, no.
Laying black marks down. And hits, can't really see it because of the time.
60? Oh, he hit the 5.
Hit the 5, who... The same time the 5, there's just a gaggle of cars here. It's the 1 on the right side. The 5's at his door, but the 22 is directly behind the 1. So when the 1 gets on the brakes, Joey, I'm sure we'll have his in-car camera, gives him like a little bit of a tap, barely. Just like when he checks, he just dink.
Yeah.
At the same time he dinks him, the 2 smokes the 5, then smokes the 1. So in Ross's mind, he's looking in his mirror and all he can see is the 22 hit me. And now I'm backwards.
Well, and then they all come by him. So he just sees who the last one that came by was.
Right.
Like, and
Joey,
it's like
you.
It's like the heat-seeking missile, like locked on.
Yeah.
Florida man,
I don't have
engage.
Eyes. Okay, so right now we're 17 wide, and he gets clear. Do we have the in-car camera on the 1? Yeah. So he says there, Ross says to himself, Joey, there's no chance you're going to make this corner, and let me help you.
Somebody else backwards.
Okay.
Oh, the
we're gonna go in sequence here because this is gonna be a great social clip. So here we go. In car of the 2. Here we go. Okay. So riding along with Austin Cindric comes in here.
Let's be quiet here and listen.
Boom. Okay. Grab a gear. Oh, I'm straight. Good.
Got a woe link though.
Tink, tink. Okay, so
he
the 47 hits the 22, hits the 1. The 47, I'm clear. Yes, easiest spots I've had all day. And
just wait a corner.
now, psych. Oh, damn it. Okay, here we're at the 22. Fills the gap. Okay, here we go. It's 47. Pow, pow. Okay. Joey, calm, cool, and collected. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm good. I'm straight. Okay, Ross is behind me.
Oh. Coleman Presley on the radio. He's like, all right, Ross shipped you.
Okay, here we are. Ross, all you see out your windshield and your mirror. So all he knows right now is that he gets spun out.
Now play the Jaws theme. Dun-dun, 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 dun-dun.
Like a baby seal, that bright yellow car. Yeah. Sorry. Okay, there you go. There's a couple spots.
I got some Bush apple for you. Oh, sorry, it wasn't you. My bad. Golly.
Okay, so that was that turn 1 and 2 sequence. Okay, here we go. So everybody that made it out of there is now still
marked safe. From turn 1 incident.
Safe.
Check.
Fast forward. Turn 10. Bubba is on a bit of a tire disadvantage here. Bowman's on tires coming right here. So,
and they're playing against each other in the in-season bracket.
Okay, so good context. This is one of those moments, though. So this is a moment. Do we have the in-car from like turn, what's that, 7? That little right kink before they go into the little over the bridge?
He'll pull it.
So this all happened, like you said earlier, 3 or 4 corners before.
And last year, for context, they were wrecking each other after the checkered. Here, same track. So when you go back to the same track, your brain, even though it was a year ago and there's been a lot of races, it's
triggered.
Like brand new again.
Triggered.
Yes.
Same schemes, actually, I believe. that might not be factual at all, but I'm going to say that there's enough conviction it's going to be true. So the 48 gets to the right side of Bubba through the little short chute before that fast right kink into, I don't even know what that corner is. It's 6, 7, 8 is the kink. So that's the tightest part of the racetrack when you try to make that corner too wide. Like, I don't even know how it's possible. So the 23's trying to not get stuck in the left side fence. The 48's not trying to get stuck in the right side fence, so they're doing this number. So instantly, Bubba's perspective is like, he jammed it in there, and he's using me up. 48's thinking, 23's trying to chop me. It's just limited real estate.
Like we said, they're mad at each other from last year. They're racing each other in the bracket, and they genuinely don't like each other.
That's fine. That's good.
I like that.
I prefer it that way. So rewind this tape. So now they're side by side, and I still think at this moment, Bowman is handling this pretty cordial. He doesn't nerf him on entry. He gives him a couple feet. He takes all the right side that he could have. He doesn't crowd Bubba. Runner right here. Stays off of him, keeps it inside, doesn't door him here a little bit.
Bubba turned
right early. So here, now Bubba says, nah.
He misjudged it. He was going to ship him there.
Yeah.
The 48's almost lucky he misjudged it.
Yeah.
And then he just clears
himself. This is mine. So then there's like 7 cars behind him, all watching like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? So the 48, he just tags him. He doesn't try to kill him. Now, this is the point. It's like, okay, what do you do? I think the 48 plays this right. Barely has a gap, gets behind him, and the 23 tries to clear himself again. You know you're not going to do it twice. Yeah. Great camera selection by TNT. Never got that on TV.
Oof. Yeah, that was tough.
That's tough.
That wasn't even the one where he spun out.
No.
I thought that was going to be the one
No,
where
that
he
was the
spun
first
out.
time he
That was
plugged
the
him in the
first
fence. So that's all
That's
fine
fair.
in racing.
Well,
That's
now,
fair.
but to the 48 got lucky. If you're dealing with a mad dog, right?
Right.
Just get rid of him.
Right.
You don't put him back in the cage and try to pit him. There you go.
There you go. He got rid of the
gear.
yeah.
Bye. See ya.
Set you back on the porch, mad dog.
Oh.
And goes about his business. So, yeah, that's that.
That's that.
What else is there?
I don't know. I thought this one.
Oh my God.
Cody Ware augured in the fence. First and foremost, before we talk about this, the elephant in the room, the caution not being thrown.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see a caution thrown, you just wanted to see Shane get wrecked. I was talking to a friend earlier, and he was like, they should have thrown the caution. I'm like, why? He's like, well, I want to see somebody wreck that dude from New Zealand.
Yeah, that's all.
I was like, okay,
happen.
that's what you wanted. I was like, there was lightning in the area. There was a good chance that
if it started raining as soon as the checker flag came out.
The rain is whatever. The rain would have made it great.
For sure.
The lightning hold would have ruined the whole event.
Yeah.
Because we would have been sitting there for an hour waiting
to run a green-white checkered. Everybody get out of their cars, think about it, have a drink, and absolutely wreck every single car, and Catherine Legg wins the race.
Yeah, and if we would have done that, everybody would have talked about how all the cup drivers are and how it's a complete mess and
they would never want us to come back.
So I get he augers it in the fence, and the person with the blue flag
about got their arm ripped.
Don't know what the blue flag's for, but there's a video from the backside of this, and it is gnarly.
Do we have that pulled up from social, Higgy? I mean, everybody has seen it. It's probably got 1 million views. We have the in-car camera.
In-car.
So the first the in-car of the 17. This is the one that has some rotor chips bounce off the windshield. So here we go. So the 17. Oh, we don't have it from earlier in the corner. Can we get it? So there's the 4, the 5. So when Cody goes to press the brake in 5, you see the puff of smoke. Rotor. Back there.
Uh-oh.
So he's going down the straightaway with no rotor.
Oh, he never checked it.
No.
Do you ever do that on like long straightaways where you just check you have a pedal?
Yeah, but by then, like you check. Most of the time at a road course, you check. So, for example, turn 6 at Watkins Glen. So you go through the bus stop and you hammer all the cars. Pow, 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 pow. Go through the carousel, no brake. So down the backstretch, you have to tap the pedal because over the rumble strips of the bus stop, it pushed the pads back.
Yeah.
So you
try
to true the pads back up. That way your initial brake spike is there. It's not like a longer pedal. So you do the tap to get the pads trued back up. These cars anymore, you don't need to be like, do I have brake? I wish Cody would have done that, but that's just not what you do with these cars because the brakes are generally so good if you have them. So let's ride along with Chris Buescher here, and he sees this pandemonium. Fastest part of the racetrack here by far. Oh my God. Boom!
Oh.
Dude, large impact. So,
What was Cody's in-car like?
Let's ride along with Cody. Buckle up, tighten the belts.
Uh-oh.
Oh! So he hit the fence at 93 miles an hour.
Oh.
So when you see like a right front blow at an intermediate, so everyone else talk about G load, this, that. There's the G load measurement, which measures obviously how much your body weighs at the point of impact and for how long. But there's also delta V, so the change in your velocity. When you blow right front, you hit the wall at like a 45-degree angle, so your delta V, you go from like 110 to like 80. So your mile per hour is not slowing down very much. He goes from 93 to 0. That's a large delta. That would be a 90-plus delta V. Anything over like a 70 delta V is like, oh my God.
I'd put him in 2 biggest hits in next-gen history.
Yeah. He tank slapped it at Texas off of 4, large crash.
That was the largest wreck so far, and this is the second largest wreck so far. They had the social clip pulled up. I want to watch this because it shows a great perspective. In cars are fine, everything. This shows a crazy perspective. Dude. And
it zips by like a rocket ship. And this person still hasn't stopped waving the blue flag.
Well, they were waving it.
I don't know what a blue flag means.
The car blows it, goes under it, blows it up. He's lucky he didn't lose his hand. He or she's lucky they didn't lose their hand. And then they just poke it back out and keep waving the flag.
Whatever it was blue, it's definitely blue now. I don't know what this blue flag means, but this guy is stuffed in the fence.
Imagine,
he actually ended up on the other side of the racetrack.
I don't know who filmed it, but imagine being a fan sitting there. This is your first time ever. You live in Chicago. You're going to watch NASCAR. This is great. Oh, it's almost over. This guy from New Zealand kicked the rest. Holy shit. What was that? Was that one of the other cars?
What was that?
This is crazy. Yeah. Like that's
like literally some guy just like pulled his phone out the first time. Like, yeah, this dude, look at it. Hey, buddy,
it's almost over. I gotta get a video, show my kids. And that is like the craziest perspective because we see it all from TV, zoomed out, or in the in-car. But when you're just sitting there and imagine seeing a crash like that on the interstate.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what in the world?
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen anything hit the fence at 93 miles an hour in front of me and race my whole life.
No, I've never.
Oh, goodness.
Well, glad he's okay. Good God almighty. Now, I don't want to get into this. It should be a yellow. I hate that conversation.
I knew it wasn't going to be. Listen, there's, okay, rules, whatever. Be a human for a second. We had to get, the race was great. Nobody was going to beat them. If they throw the caution, it's a mess. If you wanted it to be a caution, you're just kind of being you wanted to see a wreck. You want to see a wreck fest, right? Didn't happen. Chicago, there's a lot invested there. There was a lot of trouble. It looked like Gotham City.
Dude, the fog rolled in. It was wild.
It looked so sick. But rain, whatever, there was lightning close.
Yeah.
And if we get called for lightning before the white flag,
it's over.
That just turns into an absolute mess.
Mm-hmm. So
I get it. Is it warranted because we've missed cautions and before in the past? I get NASCAR's going to get hammered on that front. Every situation's unique. To me, this is the right call.
Yep, I agree.
And I also don't know the inner workings. The best guy won the race. Also, it was exhilarating because we're still in the bracket challenge, and we were like racing the 17. He was like 5 cars back, and it was like, come on, hang on to it. Because our car, I didn't realize how hard Zane hit the fence. He was trying to explain to us how many times he wrecked. I think his words at the end were, sorry, guys, I was an absolute effing weapon today, is what he said on the radio. Our car would just hit a wall where, like, the rear tires were gone. And the 17 came and put tires on. And it was like, it was like racing in the playoffs when you're like, we're on the cut line, you know? And like,
we should just get rid of the playoffs, you know? That's not exciting. Let's just go 38 weeks and let somebody win with 4 races ago. That's a good idea.
It was exciting. Hey, I'm telling you, we're one of the guys. I'd say that the 38's one of the bracket busters, right? We had the 2-car at Atlanta, arguably the best guy there. He wrecked, but part of it. And then the 17 is one of the best guys on road courses. They had issues.
Mm-hmm.
They fixed the issues. They were going forward, but
we're talking to the bracket buster.
The loudest one.
Tyrone. Dylan's going to join us right in studio. Here in a little bit, excited to talk to him, see how far he can make it for that $1 million. Tyrone.
They've been a lot better this year too, man.
They have.
I'm excited to talk about Colligan and kind of what they got going on and how they've been able to right the ship there.
So let's go ahead and get him on. Talk to Ty Dillon coming up, guys, right after this. Hey, everybody. Quarter of the Joy here. And summer is in full swing, so let's shine a light on sun protection. Whether you're out at the track, out on a job, or just enjoying summer weather, daily sun exposure adds up. About 90% of non-melanoma skin cancers, such as basal cell carcinoma and cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma, are linked to ultraviolet, also known as UV, radiation from the sun. The good news, simple steps can make a big difference in protecting your skin. Wear long sleeves, a wide brim hat, and even some sunglasses. Use broad spectrum sunscreen with SPF 30 or higher and reapply every 2 hours. Our sponsor, Regeneron, is raising awareness of non-melanoma skin cancer with the Let's Get Real About Skin Cancer educational program and encouraging people to take control of their skin health. Visit letsgetrealaboutSkinCancer.com to learn more and take the pledge to see a dermatologist for an annual skin check. All right, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up. We've been trying to get this fella in studio now for a couple weeks because he is the bracket buster. Please welcome Nonsense Garage driver number 10, Chevy Camaro, Ty Dillon.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome.
Thanks, man. I'm
How's
glad
it going?
to be here. Good, brother. It's been a good couple weeks. It's been pretty fun.
Man, you landed straight from Chicago and drove straight here.
Yes. Yep.
Appreciate that.
It looks like I came right from the woods, but nope, straight from Chicago.
Oh, good thing you're wearing that white hat. That way people can see you on YouTube.
Yeah.
How's your day yesterday?
Man, honestly, wasn't one I was extremely proud of. It's just one of those days that I think we survived and did the right things to not take ourselves out of it. I was building confidence. I hadn't ran there since when I was with Spire, and so I missed last year. And so I was trying to build up the confidence over the weekend and felt pretty good going into qualifying. Had a decent lap. I was following AJ. Wasn't too far off of his lap, and I went into turn 11 there and knocked the right front off and killed the wall. So we had to start in the back, reset your confidence meter again.
Yeah.
And kind of the same thing in the race. I was building up, and we got up to about 20th and got in behind Christopher Bell and really started clicking some laps and building that confidence again. And lo and behold, if I didn't knock the right front off of it again, going into 12 and just, man, couldn't get away from those walls. But
just the clipping the inside, taking a little bit too much.
Just a little too much, man. Like I'd get the confidence going up and I'd release the brakes and just, I don't know, just kept catching the wall. So I'm glad to get away from those walls. And
so we were watching a lot of in-car cameras breaking it down earlier, but talk about how easy it is because you're trying to base off the rear bumper, right?
Yep.
And you can't see off your right front, especially if there's somebody in front of you.
Yeah.
And you're hoping that guy doesn't take it all because you're trying to take a little bit more.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. AJ and I were talking about it. He's like, I struggle so bad to see the right-handed walls. And I think one thing I noticed is the windshield wiper and everything, the mount is right there. It tees up with the wall so much where you can't really see over your right front fender and a lot of those right-handers. And the only way you're going to make a pass is if you can get out just a little bit wider and shoot and clip that wall close. And that's what I was trying to do. I think I was behind Justin Haley, and I had kind of a run and just clipped it too tight and knocked pretty much the right front ball joint out of it. But we just kind of and we just came in, changed the right front tire, got it knocked the air out of it. So we changed the right front tire. I think it was like 15 to go anyways at that point. So I'm like, let's just go out there and survive and let everybody else have carnage, and ended up with the top 20 from it. So.
Bro, all-time quote on the basketball. The real ones know the basketball lingo.
For sure. I feel like that one's been sitting dormant. So I knew in a basketball city, going up against Brad in a game of knockout, I was going to have a good chance.
That's such a great quote. We better lock that one in.
Oh, I'm glad you dug it up.
Yeah.
That's my favorite.
Corey hammered him with it like a year ago. He asked, Brad was like, hey, why didn't I get invited to kickball? And Corey's like, I saw that clip of you trying to play basketball, so I didn't want to embarrass you. But yeah, the real ones know that was did you have that one teed up, or did that come off the cuff?
So I said, we're in a basketball city like Chicago, so I felt like going up against Brad Keselowski in a game of knockout, I felt pretty good about my odds.
Like your chances. I happened to watch that video again this morning.
You watched it again?
Oh, it's
the best.
I think we've got it for your viewing entertainment too, don't we, Higgy?
So did you think about that? Like, okay, so you know who you're up against, so you're kind of eyeing it up all week. So you hit the favorite driver against Denny.
Yep.
So, like, you probably had that one. Like, if I beat him, I'm going to use this.
Yeah.
Did you, with
got
Brad,
some traction.
did you have that pre-thought out that you were going to talk about basketball?
Well, I went back and forth all week. You know, I had a bunch of people I was doing interviews about the Denny comment, and they're like, "What, you got something for next week?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know about Brad. Like, I don't know if he take it well or not. I don't really know what to say." And then I realized, like, when we were in Chicago, I'm like, basketball city. Some stuff started coming to mind. I'm like, okay, I got something here, but I don't want to think about it too much. Like, we got a whole race to run, and I just, like, I don't want to make it about that in my head. And after I saw that he was eliminated, it was actually under the pace lap where I was just like, okay, basketball city, I'm bringing up the basketball thing somehow.
Gotcha.
And I just, it just came out nice. It flowed pretty well, and I loved Mamba's reaction to it. It caught him off guard, so it took him back, and that was probably the most fun about
Never
it.
is he without words.
Yeah.
He was speechless there.
Yeah.
Well, you can watch this clip. Hey, you want me to send it to you? Yeah. It's in the group chat. Yep. I sent you the tweet with the YouTube link because I wanted to watch it collectively together.
Watch Brad do
to
the
really
layup.
appreciate Ty's quote because it is impeccable.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I felt like somebody owed it back to Brad. He kind of set our athleticism as NASCAR drivers back a few years.
Here's the other thing, too.
Maybe to the Stone Ages.
Here's the other thing. RFK deserves all right now because they're throwing so much shade at everybody for the bracket.
If your social team's going to throw shade, we're going to throw a little shade back. Brad Keselowski shooting hoops. Here we go. We're at the Charlotte Hornets.
Young Brad.
Oh, boxing them out.
Elbowing.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's do a play-by-play. Okay, here we go.
This is before the
Driver
time.
the number 12. Team Penn. Okay. Here we go.
Just got away a little bit.
Okay. All right.
Second shot went in. That was good.
Look at Tone.
I think we're running out of.
No, you can't take away the effort. The effort is there.
Yeah, I think that's Brad. I mean, Brad's always going to give it 100.
He gives it 105% at all times.
Absolutely.
The free throw is tough to watch.
This is where I felt pretty confident.
We could say.
Race car driver.
So if you wanted to fast forward, he ends up making one. The place of reps. Of course it does.
Oh, no.
At this point, they're feeling bad for
Let's go.
Okay, a little bounce pass. Okay.
Oh, all right.
Passing skills are high.
He's
He's got some speed.
Okay.
A fast break layup.
That one was tough.
Let's close it on out, Brett. Here we go. Get it in there. Hit the buzzer. Oh, finish it out, Brad.
Yep.
I don't know if he
There
deserved
it
his
is.
praise this morning. But
And I don't
We're
think
done.
NASCAR. That was the celebration too. That one.
That's over the top.
Yeah, I don't think NASCAR drivers got invited to sporting events for a while after that. It's we've dug ourselves out of a hole, but
That's why they had to rename it too,
Yeah.
because they had to get off that court.
Yeah.
We got to burn this court. That's a terrible show.
But honestly, man, it's all in good fun. Just trying to have fun with the moment in the in-season bracket, and I'm aware, right? I'm throwing out a little bit of fun, but it can come back to me at any moment. But that's part of what we do, man. That's why we do. You guys have podcasts. We got to do some more fun stuff to get out our
I
personalities.
like what you said last week too. Is like you feel now that you as a driver and as a team, you're running good enough to like when you're not talk about when you're not running good. You just feel like I'm gonna crawl in a hole. I'm gonna poke my head out. I'm gonna do my job. And I'm gonna poke my head back under.
Yeah.
But now you're running. You got some swagger back. Right?
Yeah.
You're having it seems like you're having more fun at the racetrack to show that side of Ty Dillon.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you getting some of that back? How you feeling?
Yeah, I do. I feel like it's building. It all started in the off season, man. It was like the first time I felt like in off season I had some kind of momentum and confidence building.
What was it?
The first it started with our sponsors, Grizzly nicotine pouches coming on board. They're a Winston-Salem brand, which is where I'm from. It's my hometown.
Got it on you?
Not on me right now. I got some in the truck.
Damn.
And then we have Seabest, and they believed in me last year, and then they came on this year again in a big way, and just building that confidence. And then Colleague Racing, Matt Colleague, Chris Rice, Ty Norris, this whole offseason, they made me feel like they believed in me, and that was just a big start for me where I felt like I could just get comfortable. The guys, Andrew Dickinson, my crew chief, they've all been behind me. And it didn't seem fake, the belief, and it doesn't seem like it was something that was just manufactured because we had a deal. And it's allowed me to become more comfortable. And like you said, we're building momentum. We haven't finished our races the way that we've ran. Like, the main ingredient's been there. We've been strong. We haven't really finished them all out. Atlanta, we finally finished one. I wouldn't say Chicago was our best weekend, but we finished it good. And that's our plan for the rest of the year, is just like finish these strong days out and stop making these late race mistakes.
Absolutely. I had dinner with Andrew a couple weeks ago. I was telling you before, his wife and my wife, really good friends growing up. But Andrew said something that stuck out, and I think it's more prevalent with this car than ever. He said him and Trent Owens are working really well together. The whole team's pulling the rope in the same direction. Since we can't build our own cars anymore, everybody's got the same stuff. I think it's overlooked just how much it means when you have all your teammates included, pulling the rope in the same direction. It seems to be working out. You saw, hell, AJ Allmendinger run top 5 the whole Coke 600 and finish 6th. And you're doing the same. You guys have probably, I would say, you might know this metric, but from where the Colleague cars run, I'd say they're probably 10 spots better each week running position.
Yeah, it's been a massive jump from last year just to this year. And I think, like you said, the cohesiveness with the inside of Colleague Racing, you look at the racetracks where you can tell that the race team is on the same page, like Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta. Any place we hold it wide open, AJ and I usually qualify within a 10th of each other. And that's either 13th, 14th, 12th, 11th. We'd obviously like to be further up the board, but we're proud of the fact that we unload 2 cars that are built the same. And it's allowed me to learn from AJ, especially on the road courses where he's so strong. But, man, AJ's a dog. He's been really good this year. I've learned a lot from him and his driving style and his approach. And we go to the simulator, everything's the same, and we learn from each other. So we feel like my success is his success is my success. And it's really built the whole team in a cohesive unit. So him and Trent are doing really well, and we're trying to get our results up to where theirs are, but our speed has been there as well.
Man, you talk about just the unique path that your career's been.
Yeah.
It's been up, sideways, out. Took a bit of a sabbatical. Was it last year?
Yeah.
Did some Xfinity races. Did some of that unplug, figure out what priorities are really truly in life, and plug back into the Cup Series. Do you feel like that was positive for you?
Yeah, for sure. I've been in and out twice now where I felt like maybe this is it, and you're kind of coming to grips with like, man, maybe the dream of driving's over. My wife has been a super catalyst in continuing my drive, having kids now, like showing them an example. Like, my career has come less about what I want to look back on my personal accolades to more now of like, I want my kids to see in their dad that like for their future, he never gave up on his dream. And so when things get hard in their life, because we all go through things, like to fight and to never quit on your dreams and believe in that. And I just think that's so important. So now it's more for them, and I want to keep showing them a good example. And, man, things have gotten better. You know, you never know what the next opportunity is going to be, and this has been my best one so far. And I know you've fought through that too, the ups and downs. You fought your way into the sport, and, you know, we all come against adversity, and you're still grinding and working hard. And
I think we're just too dumb to quit, buddy.
That's right. Like, we don't know how. And, you know, that builds so much for you in character, not only off the racetrack, but as parents and as husbands and everything in life. So NASCAR has been a big blessing to my life on and off the track, and just looking forward to what the future is.
You and I had spent a lot of time together a couple years ago when you were teammates with me at Spire, and with just, you know, Bible study groups at MRO with McDowell and these guys, like trying to figure out how to be content, because race car drivers, you're never content. You're always working for more. You're going to leave here, you're going to go to the simulator on a Monday, 12 hours after you race, right? How do you, though, hold the outcome loosely and think that all your work is going to something worth it?
Yeah. that's the hardest thing that we deal with. And I think you sometimes go in our garage and there's a lot of miserable guys who are very successful because the expectation in their mind and around them is so high. But you kind of have to find a way to clear it out and find peace with yourself. Like, I think I certainly haven't done a good job with it in the first 4 or 5 years of my career, but I think the last 2 or 3, I've just changed to, like, if I work out hard and I do the thing, like I work out, I prepare, and I feel like at the end of my career, no matter what it says, where I'm finally done, that I look back and I say, I don't regret not doing something. Like, I wish I would have worked out harder. I wish I would have studied more, or I wish I would have done more sim sessions. If I can look back by the end of my career and say, you know what, I gave it my all in all those things, then I'll be proud of what I've done. So that's just kind of been my mindset change. The results are going to come and go. I mean, you guys, you've been a part of championship winning teams, race winning teams. Like, you can dominate a race and still get a bad finish. The results are going to come and go, but if your effort, preparation is good, that's the thing that you can leave proud of and let the results vary, and usually your results get better by doing that.
Well, the results are just results, right? They're not the goal.
That's right.
Separating the goal and the result, and I do feel like, and I wonder if this has helped you find your stride at Colleague, like, we spend a lot of people spend a lot of time about worrying about getting fired.
Yeah.
Right? And you get so bottled up and you're worried about getting fired, and then actually you do get fired.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, well, the sun still came up.
Totally.
All right. Like, life's not over. You almost feel like your life's going to be over. So when you do, and then you get, take a year off and get another shot, it seems like it's helped you to, like, come back to college and be like, okay, more mature and as a stronger race car driver.
I think since 2020, I haven't had a year where I was going into the offseason knowing what I was going to do. Last year was the first time I got that. I think going in, there's a couple months left in the season. I kind of knew what I was going to do, and that gave me so much peace through the off season and into this year. Things are going well for all that too. We're having good talks with our sponsors again, and I think I've never had an opportunity to work with a group for over an off season and a crew chief for more than a year, a team for more than a year. Not even back to my Germain days. The last time I worked with somebody was Matt Borland for, I think we were 2.5, 3 years there. And so it's been a long time since I've been able to build any continuity and build that confidence up. So I think you nailed it. Like, just having the belief and having a little bit of time to build has been nice.
Borland's as intense as Dickinson too.
Yeah.
But and also, like, the confidence in having a crew chief that believes in you.
Absolutely.
Right? That's not always just trying to throw shade.
Yeah.
It's trying to work on your strengths and work within your strengths and figure it, just work together. It's like it shows up more now than it ever has with this next-gen car.
I believe so. I think that continuity driver, crew chief, and Andrew, I think if you listen to our radio, it's probably one of the most entertaining. He's Australian. He's got that Australian accent and a little bit of colorful language constantly, but there's a fire in that guy, but he doesn't come across negative. Sometimes, like, fiery crew chiefs that are so passionate, they come across negative, they can kind of beat you down. But the way he words to me the things, I know he does it in a way that he believes in me, and he just wants the best for our team, and that has made a huge difference in me. It's just that it's a confidence builder that he knows, like, hey, man, I believe in you. Give me one of those good restarts I know you got. Let's go get it. And he never gives up, so that's been awesome.
When you say that word, confidence, it's such a valuable commodity as a race car. It's the most valuable commodity as a race car driver to have.
Yeah.
You can see it when it's gone, and it's hard to really see it when it's there. Only you know.
Yep.
But it permeates to every single thing you do, particularly behind the wheel as a race car driver.
Yep.
What's that confidence look like as it gets going? And, like, what are you feeling? And just your ability to, like, be confident in your moves you're making on the racetrack, the communication with your crew, simulator, it all permeates from that.
I don't know, man. There's some times where you wake up and it's just like, things are right, and you feel almost, and I like to say, like, I'm feeling dangerous today. Like, that's how you feel, right? Like, I woke up feeling dangerous, and that's that feeling you get in your body. Like, I know I'm going to make these moves. They're going to work. Like, and then there's some days where you're at a track, and it's just like, man, I don't really know how today is going to shake out. And that's that confidence. I think it just comes from the things you're hearing from your team owner, your team boss, yourself, what you're letting in and what you're allowing to go and process. And the more positive voices you have around you, the more that confidence builds. When you look your guys in the eye and you know they got your back, it's easier to have that feeling week in and week out. And that's what I felt this year. I'm still building. I tell my guys each week, like, just keep sticking with me because it's building. I feel like I'm starting to feel like the me back when I was winning XFinity and winning in trucks and running up front constantly. that is coming back very quickly.
Hey,
and we got the rest of the year to kind of keep growing in that too.
2 more weeks, and you could cash $1 million.
That's right.
Tyrone.
Hey, we're getting dangerously close to that $1 million.
Hell
Anything
yeah.
can go then.
Hey, it's a gritty bunch too, man. We've talked about Andrew Lapa. He was part of the 51. I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name. Phoenix Racing.
Yeah.
They had that Nick. It was Nick, and that was a gritty bunch of boys down there.
The grittiest of grit.
That's where he's from, and you're cut from that same cloth. We were talking about RCR before we came in here, so I'm excited to see where you guys can go, man. Who you got this weekend? Alex Bowman?
Alex Bowman. Ooh. So him and Bubba seem like they're getting along pretty good. So I'm thinking about putting a word in Bubba's ear. Like, man, Alex said he didn't think you're going to do anything this week.
Yeah.
So
Alex said you suck.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll be in Bubba's ear all weekend.
Yeah, I saw Bubba at lunch. He was talking some
get them both fired up. Just
head game, bro.
I've been doing all your work at driver intros. Hey, you already said?
Yep.
Man, it's well, I'm happy to hear that confidence is coming back, man, because that was when you were growing up, dirt late models and ARCA, like we all grew up together, running around the DO a lot. Like, your career path doesn't look how you originally had thought, right? Your career path probably looks like your brother's.
Yeah.
Base camp, if you will, up there and welcome at RCR, but you have the Lord has taken you a different route, right? All these different places, learn all this different experience and work with so many more people. But it seems like after all that, it's starting to back at a RCR affiliate team at Kealy, now you guys are kind of back together.
Yeah.
Has that been not only a career shift, but a personal shift as well, getting closer to that relationship?
For sure. I would have never been able to predict my career path. I thought, after ARCA and trucks, it was going to be one way, and I would never change the journey I've been on. It's been ups and downs and a lot of emotional nights, a lot of ups and downs as far as just what you're going to be doing in life. I never thought I would end up coming back to college racing and having a closer connection with RCR and back to kind of being a teammate with my brother in a sense. It's been awesome. It's been probably the biggest blessing of my career this last year. Feel more at home. And but like I said, I wouldn't change the journey because it's changed me as a man. It's changed me as a person, and it's given me so much more gratitude and perspective for the opportunity I do have. Like you said, the years away, you just appreciate what you get to do. And my wife's from Washington State, so we go spend time out in Washington State where there's nobody. That's not very many NASCAR fans. There are some, and we love you guys and we see you out there, but you go out there and you get perspective that this world's pretty big, and then you get to come back and you get to be in the middle of cup racing, this world that we make very small sometimes. And I'm just grateful for the gratitude it's given me, and grateful for that God has given me an opportunity to continue my story, no matter what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be a mass success, but I'm back for some reason, and having a lot of fun with it right now.
Does it feel good? What do they call it? The train tracks up there in Welcome?
Yeah,
how's that
cross
all
the
laid?
train
Does
tracks.
it feel good to cross train? Does it feel like being at home because colleagues on the RCR campus?
It does, man, and get to see my grandfather quite often now, and just spending time with him. Learning some of the business from him too, getting somewhat involved with him on that, and the college race team, they're a passionate bunch too. And what's cool about that race shop is that was the race shop I was in when I raced at Germain. It was my truck race shop too. So now we're in it for the third time with a different team. But
something good about that though. It feels like home walking through the doors, right?
It does.
You know that
comfortable.
That's way back in the turn-down bay, nobody goes
the clean one.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yep. Sure.
I can sit here and talk all day, buddy. I'm glad you came in today. How do you like overall? Has the whiteboard of goals for the 10 team shifted or adjusted or raised, or have you added any?
Yeah, I think it's time for us to reset. I think we've been running in these top. I'd say our average running position is 20th to probably 14th or 15th on speed. And I think it's just now time to be locked in on our execution of that day. I think we've been taking 16th, 17th place cars and finished 19th to 20th or maybe worse on just mistakes. And if we can just execute our races a little bit better, and we started doing that at Atlanta, so I feel like we're on the right path of that. This second half of the season, we're going to finish better than we started. And, I think there's 24 key partner race teams. If you look across the board, I think that's the number. We want to get to 25th in points. We want to be that first non-key partner number. Obviously, AJ's jumped up there pretty far, so he's gonna achieve that goal. But we want to be right there in number 25, at least in points, would be a great goal. And you never know. Like we've been really strong at the super speedways. We still got a couple of those left. And you never know at any of these other places. You run the top 10, top 12, you're going to give yourself a chance.
Andrew, plays a little bit of a gamble on some tires or something, gets you some clean air.
You never know. We'll
Get
be
the
there
elbows
to take,
out.
Yeah,
and you guys are faster, so it's easier to do it
That's
when you
right.
got more
That's
speed
right.
for sure.
We're ready to take advantage. We're ready to be there. So
That's right.
Love it.
3 questions for you, buddy.
All
I know
right.
you got to go.
Yep.
3 questions for you. I got every guest. First time on the show, right?
Yep, first time.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep.
If you got to pick one car and one racetrack to race out the rest of your life, what do you go with?
One car, one racetrack. I'm going Darlington.
Hell yeah.
And
because the place changes every time you run it anyway.
yeah,
it's like
for
a different
sure.
racetrack. every
You're
time
always adapting there. I would like to run the old Twisted Sister car because that was what I ran in ARCA. I thought those cars were so fun, and that's what that was like.
Comes to mind when you think that?
Oh man, paint scheme. It would be maybe Clint's 07 Jack Daniels car or Harvick's Goodwrench car that had like the razors on it. You know,
that's the one he talks about.
I talk about that one all the time.
Yeah,
That's just the one I think about.
I thought the Reese's car was
the
underrated.
Reese's. Yeah, the Busch car was pretty cool.
Great answer.
Yep.
Love that. What's your most embarrassing moment at the racetrack?
Oof, man, there's been plenty of those. I'd say when I was 14 or 15, we were at Orlando Speed World Legend Car Racing. There was they did like a week there, and it was before Volusia Dirt, so we'd be down in Daytona for like a month. We did that. I had won like the first 2 nights. The third day, it rained before practice, and they had everybody in the pits go out and dry the track. Well, I didn't even hook my Hans up. I think my belts were loose, and I was like hot dogging in the water in my Legend car. Just whop, whop, whop. And
were you on the apron or were you on the actual
track? People are in the stands, and I spun this thing and knocked the front clip off of it right in front of the whole crowd. And I just like put my head down. It was like the most embarrassing moment.
Who chews your ass after that?
Oh, Dad. Adam Brown was building our cars then, so he
Adam's
was pretty
still
pissed.
there.
Yeah, he's still there.
working
Yeah,
on 3 cars.
yeah. The Adam Brown, Joe McCone, who took us racing, Greg James, who took us racing. They're all still involved at RCR. It's been cool, man. They were a part of my brother and I's career from day one, and they're still there, so it's cool.
It's a big family up there in Welcome.
Yep.
What's ass chewing from Mike Dillon like?
It's got a lot lighter over the last couple of years.
Okay.
Grandkids will do that.
Grandbabies do that. Now he's just he's keeping. But back in the day, he was just intense. You know, he didn't get us too much, but he just wanted us to do things the right way. He wasn't ever like because of race performance. It was more about our personal performance of the way we handled stuff. Stuff, and then some stuff he let go. You know, but that was more what his intention was for us growing up, is like doing things the right way.
Did you ever tell him your Mike Dillon story from New Hampshire? Ever hear that one?
I don't know if you've ever heard this story. So this had been, I presume you were racing. Must have. Your old man was there because I didn't really race against Austin. He was like a year or 2 older than me. Loudon.
Yep.
That was when we were running part-time. It was just us, me and a buddy here working on the car. We drug up to Loudon. And I was running second, catching Alan Tardif was the guy leading 39 car. Archie St. Hilaire owned it. So I'm catching him 4 to go, 3 to go. Coming to maybe 2 to go. Down the backstretch, I'm like on his left for a quarter. I grab him, bring him back, go down into 3. In the bumps, chase it, left rear. We both do like the double spin.
Yeah.
Back in the fence, he wrecks, I wreck, and my dad just on the radio. You dumb mother. Oh, just a radio joy ass chewing of the ages, right? Because like he knew the fastest car. Could have won that. My first race would have been a big deal. Bunch of family there. I didn't even finish the race. I just pulled it down pit road, down there in turn 1 in the garage area. We were all parked, you know, and I'm like, everybody's on pit road. I'm by myself,
waiting to get his ass kicked.
Like who's it gonna be first? Is it gonna be like these guys from Maine gonna kick my ass? Is it gonna be my old man? Who's it gonna be? And I'm just like sitting there, quiet. You know, hear the crack and pops of the car, and I like in my peripheral, some guy runs up, grabbing my window net. I'm like, oh, here it comes. gets the latch down, rips the window net down, and your old man sticks his head in the car. Hey, man, don't be upset. That was badass, man. Don't stop.
Yeah.
You're badass. And I'm like, thanks, Mike.
I don't feel that way right now.
I don't feel like that right now. So, man, that stuck with me.
that's awesome.
Still, your man is cool as hell.
Yeah.
And that'll memory stick with me forever.
That's cool.
Last question.
Yep.
So if I had that Men in Black pen that zaps all your memories and you only got to keep one,
Yeah.
what do you keep? Racing memory.
Oh, racing
specifically.
memory. Okay. Racing memory. Oh, man. Winning Indy in the Xfinity Series. That was a cool moment. Kissing the bricks. Just winning at a track that's got so much history and being able to say that I've won there. It's been a cool thing. I'd love to relive that one a couple more
I'm
times.
going to give you a hypothetical scenario.
Okay.
Let's say you run 7th.
Yep.
The Brickyard 400 this year.
Yep.
And they hand you a styrofoam check with $1 million.
Yeah.
Like this. Do you kiss the bricks?
Maybe when everybody leaves.
yeah, not for everybody. That's a great answer.
It'll be for the house.
Yeah.
I was like, are they clear pit road?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
well,
Look around.
Yeah. All right, come on,
Okay.
Haley. Let's go. Let's get a picture. Yeah.
Well, that'd be cool, man, because
Yeah.
you'd be the Cinderella story, the lowest seed in the tournament,
Yeah.
making a hell of a run up
Thanks,
against
man.
Alex Bowman this weekend. Go get him a Sonoma.
Thanks, bro.
Thanks for popping in the
Thanks for having me,
studio.
guys.
Ladies
Thank
and
you.
gentlemen, Ty Dillon. And we're back, pit road boats and woes time. One of the biggest woes of the race because Michael McDowell was on a heater. What happened?
He was carrying a flag for America, and he was on the throttle
Whoa.
too hard. Oh, it looks like the throttle's stuck.
Yeah.
Broke throttle cable, sounds like.
Yep.
Too much throttle pedal.
Whoa.
Gotta come to you.
That's a bad feeling.
That's
too.
the worst feeling.
Yeah.
That and losing brakes are the two worst things. What would you say is worse? Stuck throttle or
Losing brakes.
losing brakes?
Suck throttle because that thing's still pulling you.
It's the
We might
worst.
need to pop the hood here.
It's the worst.
Guys, 4 tire and fuel. You let me know what you got, and Griff, be ready to go over and look under the hood, guys.
As you see the 71 car pushing through the pit stall, looks like they're not able.
Man, that sucks because a lot of times you're hoping that it's just maybe a piece of rubber, like we saw with the 11 car in Martinsville. A piece of rubber gets in the inlet and gets opens the butterflies on the injection. But damn it, he was carrying the flag for America. He was our only hope.
He was. I think he would have put up a good fight too.
He was
Clearly,
putting up a great
he was
fight.
leading the race when his throttle cable broke. Unfortunately,
He was putting up a
Now-
great fight.
we do go now to McDowell's arguably best track in Sonoma, so he's going to probably take that same car. They probably turn that thing right around.
Do you think he gets the first win for Spire?
He has the best chance this
Well,
weekend.
second win for Spire.
Nah, let's call it what it is.
That's the first win.
First legit win for Spire. The chances are as good as any, especially as fast as that thing was. And the balance of what you're needing the car to do at Chicago's different, but it's relative to this flowiness and the radius of the corners at Sonoma. Sonoma new asphalt though, so you might have to
I'd say
stiffen
there's
the
a
car
little
up.
bit of in-house, like who's going to get that first win because the
Has to be.
77's been so fast too.
Yeah.
So it's like they want to be the first ones to get it.
Absolutely. McDowell and Peterson are some competitive fellas.
Oh yeah.
So nobody's going to want to be the one at the company luncheon, being the one on the other
Hell
side,
no.
clapping like, yeah.
Hell no.
They hang that banner up, and you're the one at the bottom, not in the lift. You don't want to be that guy.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
So we'll see. We'll see who it's going to be.
Yeah. This weekend, a lot of pit stops, backwards. So you start, the car comes in the opposite way. You start on the left side. There's a couple different ways to approach this. We're going to see the 54 Braxton Brandon. He's going to run around the back of the car. Now, arguably the fastest, there's no argument. The fastest way to complete this pit stop is the way that the Gibbs cars are doing it here. We see them coming around the back of the car. That keeps your choreography the same, more or less, because I changed rear tires this weekend. You pull the tire, you roll it. Once the car stops and you're servicing it, it's pretty much your footwork's exactly the same. You see a lot of teams go around the front of the car still with the jack. The argument there is that road course races are a lot about the fuel man. The more guys that you send around the back of the car, it clutters it up for the fueler. So if you're doing 20-gallon stops, you just want to do whatever's best for your gas man. But for all-out speed, if you want to do the fastest possible stop, which 20 car did this week, I think it did a 10 flat, you run around the back of the car and keep the choreography like that. The risk is higher, but the reward pays off. You see a lot of guys go around the front. Less risky. The 88 team, they went around the front. It's less risky. You're not going to fall and gas. You're not going to get tripped up in hoses. Just get the tires on it. Let Shane do his job. So there's two different ways to approach it. The Gibbs teams always go for the fastest possible way.
Well, fastest possible way is to drive through too many pit boxes. Problem is you can't do that. That's what Kyle Busch did here. Drove through 3. Easy to do. Right here, nix that one. 1, 2, 3. And they will get you every time on that.
Somebody always does it on backward stops. Man, you wouldn't expect it.
It is. Just that corner. And he even thought about it. He was like, okay,
yeah,
I'm going to go. And still got it. Yeah.
Damn it. Yeah, that's a.
Once those guys freaking stop shooting themselves in the foot, they actually might be up there contender for wins. They have the ability.
Those are the little track position dumps that just set you back. Then you can't capitalize on stuff late in the race.
You can get back to 5th. You can get back to 9th.
Yeah, you can get back to 5th because everybody wrecks. But if you were 5th, then you can maybe get to 2nd.
Right. If you don't do it, you're in the hunt to run 2nd.
16 teams, slow stop while leading. Let's break this down. I didn't see this one yet.
A little close to the wall, to a foot right of his line.
A little bit of trouble on the left rear. They go around the front. Okay. They got the right rear wedged in there, and they couldn't get it back on. So the rear droops are sometimes tight. You'll see a lot of times on the front where the tires don't droop out a lot, and the guys drag the tire out.
Sets
on the rear?
They have chains. They have adjustable.
On the rear is shock. You have a shock droop, but and springs and rear roll bar. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But at road courses, say that your car sits. So let's take a tape measure right now. And we're going to put it on the bottom of the rim, and we're going to measure up to the opening of the wheel, opening of the wheel well, so straight up to your fender. Let's call that mark 23 inches. Now, when you jack the car up, usually you want that to go to like 24 and a quarter. You got like 1.25 inches of droop. At road courses, that measurement could become like 26. So what that does is, okay, you got more room on the top, but where do you get it? Now it's on the bottom.
Yeah, you got to get
so now
higher.
The tire's not off the ground. Now these jacks and everything with the strokes they have, some of them don't go that high. So, and these jackmen, a lot of jackmen now are trained to go as fast as possible. So the awareness level is down when you're going as fast as possible, so you don't get it as high.
I got to have my man Marshall's back because as soon as he jacks it, he is hanging the right front, so he can't even see if it's not quite high enough.
And I'm not saying that's what happened here. That's what happens a lot. There could have been a lot of things. Like I said, there's a lot of traffic on that right rear with fuel. The hose is all jacked up because you can't really pull the hose because the fueler's there, tire changer. So I don't know if they drug it, if it was stuck on the ground, if it was too tight. But road course setups are very unique,
tricky,
especially when you're doing them backwards. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Good news is they didn't compound the problem. They didn't go out without a wheel on. That's the trap there. And where did he end up? Where did 16 end up? Top 5?
6th.
Ah, dang it. But
AJ Humdinger, P6.
P6.
Probably frustrated, but not a bad result for that team.
Exciting news. Got another dog coming in this week. I think these guys have – this guy's been the dog of the week 3 of the last 5 weeks. 2 for good reasons. 1 for getting his ribs broken. JP Kealey is going to join us right here on Stacking Pennies. Let's bring him in.
Dog of all dogs. Let's go and talk to him.
And here he is. JP, I don't know if you know this, but 3 of the last 4 weeks, 2 for good reasons, 1 for a bad reason. You have been the dog of the week, man. Big win yesterday. Congratulations. Welcome to the show.
Wearing that gold dog chain right there, too. He knew what he was signing up for.
Hey.
Thanks. Appreciate it. It's an honor.
How was the party? I saw SVG tweet at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So you guys go hard last night or what?
A little bit. We had a few beers. It was fun. We went to his house after we landed, and yeah, had a few beers, stayed over there, and then got up this morning. Now I'm on an interview with you guys.
Did you sleep?
I did sleep. It was not till very early in the morning. but
Minimal.
I did sleep.
Brief. He's got what he calls paddock cars over there. Did you guys jump any PT Cruisers last night? You bust anything open?
Yeah, he's got that little dirt track there and a bunch of beaters, so we checked that out. That was pretty fun.
Check that out. You didn't want to incriminate himself.
You got a little bit of an accent. I don't know much of your story, buddy. Tell me where you're from and how you found yourself doing what you're doing, winning these cup races, being an absolute dog.
So yeah, I'm from born and raised in Canada. I used to play pro lacrosse for the Buffalo Bandits in the National Lacrosse League.
Sick.
I kind of got into this during COVID. Our season got canceled, just like everything. A lot of the pro leagues shut down for every sport, and I was just sitting at home. Got connected with Sean Pete, who's head of Trackhouse Pit Department, who's also Canadian. Came down and tried out, and I was still under contract to play lacrosse, and I just kind of made the decision to hang him up and do this instead. And honestly, it's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. I know it surprised a lot of people when I did it, but I'm really enjoying it. Love the racing community, and moments like yesterday winning a street race in Chicago makes it all worth it.
Dude,
so.
that's an awesome story.
Yeah, way cooler than my story. Love that.
Yeah, I mean we had old boy we had our little round table.
Joel.
We've got guys. Oh, we're good. Small wreck. We're good though. Yeah, guys. NFL. We've got just old school racers such as yourself, but that's the first lacrosse player we've heard on pit road.
That is.
You're breaking barriers.
There's another one, Sam Pierre, who's on I believe the 6.
Did you ever play against him?
He played Division I at High Point. And I think it's just me and him, honestly. There may be a few more, but
did you ever play against him?
I'm aware of.
Did you play him in lacrosse?
Did I ever play him?
Yeah.
No. I have some mutual friends that played college with him, but we never played against each other, no.
Think you could have taken him out?
I guess we'll never know because he made
in front of me.
Hey, that's a dog
go.
attitude. Buffalo Bandits is a sick lacrosse
7-time
team,
champs. I just saw Buffalo Bandits. That's like the damn Jimmy Johnson of lacrosse.
Just had a three-peat this year.
Did you ever win a title?
No, unfortunately, they decided to win all those the year I left and came here. So
you're holding back, unfortunately. Now at least you took your talents down.
Exactly.
Took your talents to South Beach and the Trackhouse. Money's not very good, I hear, in lacrosse, right? What was some of the determining factors?
That was part of the reason. I was playing lacrosse, but then I was also a personal trainer. I was also ran a recruiting program to get kids recruited to Division I, Division II, Division III schools. So I was doing a lot of stuff, and NASCAR gives me the opportunity to just be an athlete and do nothing else. So,
what surprised you the most getting into NASCAR, like on the pit crew side?
I'd say just like the camaraderie and the lifestyle of just like it, to me, like when I walked in and kind of had a visit and watched practice, saw how everything operated, it kind of just reminded me of being like a college athlete again. You're waking up, you're working out together, you're practicing together, you're eating lunch together, you're traveling together. So you kind of build like a brotherhood, and I thought that was really cool, and something that I want to be a part of. So that wasn't something I really expected, but it was the first thing that I noticed when I kind of jumped into it.
I love the look on the recruits' faces when we bring them to pit practice for the first time, because they stand there and like, what the hell am I watching? Because it's hard to even fathom when you watch a pit stop for the first time. It'd be like me watching football play, right? Just try to follow where the ball goes, don't really know. What did you think the first time you watched a pit stop?
Well, when before I went down, once I knew I was going to come down and visit, I had watched like hours of YouTube video and film and stuff like that. So I kind of learned about it through that. So I had like I wouldn't say great knowledge of the pit stop. I knew what it looked like and kind of knew a little bit what was going on. I think the biggest thing was like actual racing itself. I wasn't a big race fan before I got into the sport. So kind of like the rules and everything, even my first race. So my first race was the Daytona 500 4 years ago. and I had picked up a gun 3 months prior to that. So like when I got out there on the wall, I didn't know what a caution was. I was just baptism by fire. So
yeah, and who was it for?
Justin Haley.
Justin
on the 31.
Okay. Damn, the Daytona 500, the first one to go to, you're like, there are this many people at all these things? Holy crap. It's a lot.
Yeah, that was an eye-opener for sure.
So a couple weeks ago, so you win Mexico. Great job. Then you go to Pocono, right? And everybody's been talking about it. You got hit with the 16's tire, which awkward. That's a teammate. That's a colleague teammate. He gets his tire hit. And did it hit? From watching it, I haven't talked to you, but it looked like it hit your gun and it pushed it into your ribs. What was that injury?
Yeah, so my gun socket was tattooed on my ribs for a little bit there.
Is it still tattooed? Let me see.
It's not there anymore, but
quick healer, this guy.
It was there for about a week, but I broke my sixth rib, so the one just here, like below my armpit. There's still a little bump there because it's calcified and healing, and then I collapsed a portion of my lung. But yeah, it was. Once it hit me, I knew my rib was broken because I felt something crack, took all the wind out of me, and then went through that whole deal, and yeah.
These hockey guys are built different.
They are built different.
It collapsed my lung, but I got another one, so I'm good.
Yeah, and you still got to go and you still finish the stop.
Finish
too.
the stop, dude. What a thug.
Man.
Yeah, I mean that's the job. I mean, and the way I look at it, it's like when you're facing an opposition or adversity, it's just an opportunity to kind of prove who you are as an athlete and as a person. You get hit, you got to get back up.
I'm convinced
just sit there and not do your job.
If I'm a pit crew member of SVG's team, I could have my leg ripped off my body and I will somehow make it to go over the wall for the Chicago street race.
Yes,
and that's what I saw you warming up, and I'm like, oh, this guy back. You were doing these warm-ups, like doing these things. I've never seen somebody's knee move from their chest to the floor any faster than your legs. It's unbelievable. What are those?
All speed, baby. Speed.
Good God.
Love it. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. Documented the struggles at the beginning of the year, right? Everybody knew at Trackhouse kind of what that was going to be with Shane's learning curves going to these ovals. But then you get to Mexico, and your car is hauling ass. And there is a collective kind of knowledge between the team, like, hey, just don't this up, right? Like, that's kind of the thought process. And you guys do a great job. You execute. He goes back out on the racetrack, and he goes, I think I got a loose wheel. What was that moment like for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, he did that twice to us. He did it both stops. And we saw our helmet cams and everything, and we knew there was, like, me and Mulder were talking. We're like, dude, do you have anything on your end? He's like, no. I was like, not on my end. And they watched it like a million, the second stop. They watched it a million times at the shop, and I think it ended up having to be something with the tire pressure when they changed the tire pressure, so he was a little like loose or whatever until they built. But yeah, I mean, there was no doubt in our minds that they were tight, and obviously they were. But yeah, I mean, my heart sank to my ass. And, we were all looking at each other like, you, me? No, like we had no idea. And
was Mexico your first win as a pit crew member?
No, so I've actually been a part of every single one of SVG's Cup wins. That was on the 91, and then Mexico, and now this.
Wow, you're like a safety blanket.
Did you tell him before this one, hey, that loose wheel cut it out, all right?
Yeah.
Taking years off my life. Stop saying that.
Yeah. No, for sure. We were joking about it after me and Mulder, but yeah, we were both sweating for sure.
Explain the pressure of that moment, like the pressure that's on you guys. How do you feel going into that race, kind of knowing that it's like a field goal kicker, right? You can only mess it up. Is that how you, like, what's the pressure of that like?
We kind of talk about this a lot, and I think people approach it differently. I like to put a lot of pressure when it's like a race that you have an opportunity to win, but I don't know. I just, through my whole athletic career, the way I've always looked at it is like every single game you're got to approach the same, right? Like if you're even as like a driver, you can't just approach races differently and then all of a sudden you get to the finals and you're like, okay, now I'm going to race like it's the championship. You should be racing every race like it's the championship. So I think, as an athlete, it's the same thing. Like you got to go out there every time and do the job to the best of your ability so that when a big moment comes, you're still going to perform. Like another saying that we always had was the moment never knows how big it is. A pit stop is a pit stop, whether you're coming down, 10 laps into the race or 10 laps till the race is over, whether you're coming down first or whether you're coming down 10th. So I think that's just the biggest thing is not letting the moment define how you operate in the stop.
Fire me up,
Love
Dad.
that. Love that.
I had to run through that brick wall behind you. Where are you at right now? I hear a little bit of you at a basketball gym?
No, I'm in my apartment in the common area. There's a pool table and a dartboard and stuff behind me, so I'm just hanging out in the common area.
Every day I'm hustling back there.
He brought that with him as backdrop.
Carries that everywhere he goes. Couple quick questions before we let you go, because you're fairly new to the sport, so fresh eyes. Favorite racetrack to pit at?
Favorite racetrack to pit at? I would say, my favorite one was actually the Bristol race where it was absolute mayhem and the tires were blowing. I thought that was kind of fun. Some people may not have liked that, but I liked when Bristol was like that. Now it hasn't been like that since, but I thought that was a good one.
Love that. Who is the sketchiest guy to pit around? Used to be Harvick and Dale Jr. Back in the day, Harvick would just run your ass over if you were in the way. Have you found anybody that when you pit around them, being in the rear is a little bit different, but is there anybody that cuts it closer than most?
I'm gonna say AJ, a little tight.
Yeah, I guess I would have. There's no one that really sketches me out. Again, I feel like I try not to pay attention to what's going on and what drivers, but I guess AJ did sting me, so I guess he gets the win there.
All right, I got a question. How many guys are on one side of a lacrosse team?
Are on one. What do you mean one side?
9
on one team.
One team.
Oh, one team. Oh, we got. So there's 2 types of lacrosse. You guys here in the U.S. play mostly field lacrosse, which is like outside on like a big football field. Nets are bigger, goalies are smaller. We play box lacrosse, which is like more padding. It's 5-on-5, just like hockey. It's in a hockey rink, smaller nets, bigger goalies. You're allowed to fight, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it's 5-on-5.
Thank you for putting context to that. So if you were the captain of a NASCAR box lacrosse team, what other 4 guys are you picking?
They can't all be from Trackhouse.
They cannot be from Trackhouse.
We'll give you one. We'll give you one Trackhouse driver.
Oh, you're picking drivers?
Yeah, like
none of the drivers are making the cut.
Yeah, no, drivers.
Okay, drivers.
That's the spicy stuff.
Okay, I'm taking Ricky Stenhouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Kyle Busch.
Oh. For what?
I think he'd be a good skill player. He's got some edge and some grit to him. I don't think he doesn't put up with any any guff. So I feel like he give it to the boys pretty good.
Okay, this is your team, man. Keep building it how you want.
Good luck with that one.
Let me see.
That Brad Keselowski, you ever thought about him?
We have had too much Brad Keselowski defamation on this show today.
Okay, well, if I get my one Trackhouse driver, I definitely got to take Shane.
Yeah. He'd be the enforcer, the bruiser, if you will.
Okay, and then I'll take Ryan Blaney as a skill guy.
Oh,
I like that.
Okay, all right, there you go.
Like that.
I like that.
Hell of a team.
Yeah, it's a strong team.
We've been talking. Hey, let's bring you in on this. We've been talking about like an in-season bracket like they have right now, but with drivers fighting each other. Who do you think wins the death match between drivers? We took Shane all the way, but now I'm getting some blowback. We had some Australians in here this week that said he's a little too nice. He doesn't fight much. So we thought the best fight would be Ricky Stenhouse versus Daniel Suarez. That's what we came up with.
So I think Shane he's a really nice guy and he's quiet and reserved, but I think much like when he's driving, when he flips a switch, I think he'd probably be pretty tough to deal with.
Bro,
so I'd still take Shane.
Whenever Shane gets out and pulls his helmet off and there's steam coming off of his head, like the guy from Inside Out, like like the mad guy. If he was red faced, I wouldn't mess with it.
It makes me happy when he gets out because when he takes his helmet off, he looks like a grown man. Yeah. We're used to these kids all winning these races, but he looks like a grown ass man. I enjoy that.
Yeah.
Well, cool, man. Well, hey, we're super pumped. So you're back to 100% health, ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. Like I said, the only people have been asking me all week. I mean, the only thing I can't really do is bench heavy, so I won't be putting up any numbers on the bench anytime soon. But other than that, I mean, I feel pretty good doing everything else.
I've won a couple championships. I haven't benched heavy in about a decade, so you'll be just fine. Yeah, you'll be okay. What are the goals for this Trackhouse pit crew? Now, look, things might have shifted. You guys are, fourth in playoff points? It looks like you guys pad a couple more. You might never lose a road course again. What are the goals moving forward for the playoffs for this 88 team?
Yeah, I mean, I think these 2 wins really just give our crew some life, like all the way around and even in the building. So I think, going to Sonoma next weekend, we got another good shot. We're finally back to regular stops, which will be nice. So just going into this week, building some momentum and, focusing on regular stops again and kind of taking that out through the next couple of races until we get to playoffs. And then, from there, anything can happen. So I think this second win puts us, like you said, fourth, which gives us a shot to go pretty deep in the playoffs.
Well,
so
in the span of about a month, you guys have went from the underdogs to the top dogs. Buddy.
Oh, dogs of the week. Hey, give your team a shout out. I don't have the roster in front of me. I know Ryan Mulder's your front changer. Who's the rest of your guys?
We got Aslan Pugh, Evan Marshall as the gas man, and then Jeremy Kimbrough as the tire carrier.
Kimbrough's a stud. NFL guy.
Yep. Yes, sir. He's the man.
It's a lively bunch.
That's a lively bunch. That's a good bunch right there, man.
Hey,
we're pumped for you guys.
JP, thanks for the time, buddy. Get back to 100%. I know you're 100% now. Get to 105% because you guys are going to go work that ass over in Sonoma this weekend. Good luck to you in the 88 team. Thanks for joining us, taking Pennies.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, buddy. All right, we're back. Let's land this bird.
What a show.
What a show. We've had an
Ty
action-packed
Dillon, JP Kealey. Now we got some penny for your thoughts questions, dude.
Mm-hmm.
First one. Would you prefer Chicago to stay at the street course or bring it to a new city?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think it's awesome. It's only getting better.
What new city would you bring it to?
I just said I didn't want to leave it. I want to go to Chicago.
All right, good. Has Chicago gotten stale? This next one, hell no, it's great.
That sounds like somebody that hasn't been.
Yeah, they have not been. How much international attention do you think Chicago?
Hang on a second. So let me tell you. Scroll back up the question.
Let's talk. Mikey likes it. He does not. It seems like he does not like it.
He doesn't like it. Has Chicago gotten stale? So this was the first time I've been there as like a spectator. So we had 8-10 fellas out there hanging out. Buddies of mine, first race, enthralled. We go into like the little fan zone area where they got merch tents and right behind where the pit road is, right? And they have food tents and they got we got margaritas.
It's cool because it's like street vendors in there too.
Yeah. They had a beef rib. Like you just go buy a damn barbecue beef rib, however much, and it was some of the best food I've ever had.
Yeah.
Big screen, people got their chairs posted up, having a great time.
That's it. You can rent a chair.
You can even rent a chair.
Yeah, it was cool.
Sit in the chair you rent, eat a beef rib, drink a margarita, watch guys smash into each other.
What
Julie
else
Giese
is walking by, and I was like, "Damn,
Who?
Julie Giese, shout out Julie Giese. Thank God it was a good weather for her.
Yeah,
we keep talking about that, but I just think about the amount of work she's put in,
all of it,
and like the amount of stress that she's under. Like, holy crap, dude! Did she put this all together?
Yeah, and she's the one that's meeting with all the city officials and just continue to push this thing down. I talked to her before the race as well. She obviously wants to come back. She's seen what's continued to do for the community. I asked her, what is the percentage of fans that this is their first time at the track? What do you think it is?
83.
That was the first year. First year was about 80.
Okay, so now
First
so
2 years it was
probably gone down,
80.
probably 68.
It's very specific. It was 70 actually.
There we go.
So 70% of the fans at the racetrack that was their first time. And I know at the 10 guys that I had with me at the racetrack, it was 8 or 9 of those guys first time. So they just want to see what the action's about. So keep giving it to them.
That's good.
They like it.
How much so the next one. How much international attention do you think Chicago/SVG has brought to NASCAR? We can kind of answer this because we see our analytics from the podcast and
pump up.
We get a lot of Australian and New Zealand listeners.
We do. Like almost 10% of our listeners now.
Love it.
Australian.
Love you guys down under.
We'll go back to some penny for thoughts questions, but two of our penny stackers of the week were at Chicago. They grabbed me. And we're like, man, we literally were watching the podcast on YouTube in our Uber from the airport to the racetrack yesterday. Bronwyn and Nick from Tamworth. Is that Australia, I believe?
If it's New Zealand, they're not going to be happy.
I know. I believe it's Australia. So Bronwyn and Nick, appreciate you guys listening to the show internationally. So back to the penny stacker of the week, back to the penny for thoughts questions.
The last one. Will the internet survive a SVG Oval win when the day comes? Man, I'm sure he's ready to win an Oval. And
it's going to be hard sledding, though.
It's hard, man. It's freaking hard. The internet. The question is, will the internet survive? Absolutely. I think everybody would be excited for him. I don't
care if the internet. I hope the internet doesn't survive.
I hope it melts down.
I hope it melts down to the.
Hey, I was trying to take over.
Yep. I hope it doesn't survive because there's large percentage of people that don't deserve that channel.
SVG is such a high level competitor and he's just like a grown man, right? So it's like hard to hate on him. You don't hate on him.
No, you don't, because he'd probably find you whoop your ass. But like, he has the processing speed, he has the ability, he has the team around him and the tools to figure out how to do it. I just don't know if you can beat 15 guys that are the best in the world at driving a stock car at oval.
Yeah,
straight up. I just don't think that he's going to be able to catch up to that learning curve.
Hopefully one day.
But it doesn't matter.
Hopefully for them,
because if he does this for the next 5 years, he's paying for himself 10 times over for what Justin Marks wanted him to do.
Yeah, but as a competitor, he won't like that. So, did you see the social clip with Blaney?
Exceptional.
It was good. It was funny because everybody's like, man, Blaney's such a good actor. I said, what do you mean an actor? That's how he talked to me for the last decade on his radio. Yeah. That's just natural. Put a helmet on him. That's how he speaks.
Literally how he speaks. I don't know what the show they're referencing. It's called The Bear on FX, but it was entertaining. I love that type of stuff that they're doing.
Ryan is really good at that kind of stuff, like acting, and he's like the type of guy that can do everything. He can dance, he can act,
can't play pickleball because we smoke.
Yep. Sorry about your look. Couple shout outs.
Well, 2 more penny stackers. William and Theo from Vermeer. So the sponsor that was on y'all's car?
Yeah.
They listened to the podcast. Oh, you got a picture with them?
Yep.
William and Theo.
Vermeer, and then Ryan Seelig, Jackman. His mom was big.
Hey, shout out mom.
Penny stacker. So it's good. It's been cool to.
Yeah, she took a picture too.
She took a picture. Shout outs. Austin Green runs 9th. Brennan
always
Poole
does a good job every time he drives that Jordan Anderson hot rod.
He punches above his weight class in everything he runs. Austin Green does. Austin Hill threw a little shade at him earlier, but he runs top 10. And we said Catherine Legg.
What about Brennan Poole, top 10 Xfinity race as well? I didn't hear you. The old toxic waste, Chevy.
Is that what it was?
I got to give a shout out to his wife as well, Lindsay. She just made a handmade cake for our little shindig Wednesday. Brought it. Had blueberries, lemons. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Well, yeah, she's from Jersey. She's cool.
Hey, did you have any of that cake?
It was awesome.
Slapped. Yeah,
Catherine Legg. Yeah. Interesting fact: first woman to finish in the top 20 in the Cup Series since 2017. Danica Patrick. So exciting, man! Exciting for that BJ.
I believe
McLeod
that was
team.
the last time a female's competed in the Cup Series.
Well, there you have it.
So good on Catherine. I'm glad she got a little bit of positive press around her because she deserves it. She's a good race car driver and just hasn't had a chance yet to show that. And I'm glad she got to do that this week.
You heading to wine country this week?
Nope.
I'm going out. Bringing the wife. We're going out there early. Excited to head to Sonoma.
That's a cool
break
track.
it all down. We're in the Elite 8. The Dirty 8 is in the Elite 8.
Who are you up against?
We're up against Ty Gibbs. It's going to be a
dogfight.
It's going to be dogfight.
I feel like Ty's been up front every road course. Where did he finish this week? Top 5?
Third.
That's a quiet top 5 for Ty.
Third, he ran up front of Mexico. He got some dirty air. So we'll see. I think that Zane is good. There's less walls to hit in Sonoma, so that should be better for him. A little bit more runoff area. Yeah. He's a California kid. But yeah, it's just fun to be a part of. You know, like when you're not in the playoffs, I know there's a lot of underdog stories, but it gives you, like I said, in a stale part of the season, it gives you something to race for. Mm-hmm. And I get that a lot of the stories have been lost because of the big wrecks in Atlanta, but it's still really fun. And it's going to give out $1 million, dude. It ain't.
That's no small change.
It ain't chump change. And we're going to break down our brackets this week in Spare Change, so tune in on Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Whether you're watching us on Spotify, Apple, wherever you find your podcast.
Tubi.
YouTube, Tubi. Recommend going to YouTube this week and watching us because we have all the in-car cameras and breaking down all that craziness. from Chicago. Appreciate you guys. It's just fun doing this show. We come over here on Mondays, have a good time, talk shop. Hope you enjoy it. Keep tuning in each and every week. Break down a little Sonoma preview action. What else we got?
And we get to break down SVG's burnout.
Yeah, because
TV
doesn't do it. They lost it. This is mine. I'm going to keep it. I'm the burnout guy.
Until you bring it back to prime next year.
Yeah, I'll bring it back. So tune in to Spare Change next week, or this week, a couple days, to watch SVG's burnout, because I know you weren't able to watch it on TNT. I hate that for you. But yeah, that's all I got. Going to Sonoma, the wine country. And yeah, that's all I got.
See ya.
Yeah, y'all have a great day. Keep stacking pennies. Mm-hmm.